All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our second Monday Night Live. We're really excited to get to talk to you tonight. I think this topic is going to be super relevant for the majority of you on this call. And those of you who have been doing this for a little while, it's always great to have a refresher. So we're going to talk tonight about how to reach out to people about Plexus. I would go and say that it is the single most important skill you have to have in this business. Everything else you can learn and develop, but if you cannot talk to people about your products or your business, then you have nothing to present. So you've got to get to where you can reach out and attempt to start a conversation about these products or this business. So we're going to spend some time tonight talking about just that. I'm going to share my screen here, and all of this will be uploaded, you guys, so you'll be able to go and get the exact wording and all that. Let's see. Share screen. All right. Did it. And then let's see from the beginning. Okay. So how do you reach out about Plexus? I follow 3 rules. I love this quote. It's by Lou Holtz. He says, I follow 3 rules. Do the right thing, do the best that you can, and always show people that you care. Y'all, this is a people business. This is a caring business. And so when you are passionate about helping people, you can't help but to share. People go to bed most nights worried about one of 2 things, and that's either their health or their finances. And you have something that can literally help for both. So if you don't share, then you can't keep it to yourself. This is a sharing world. You have to share. So why should you share? Very briefly, I'm going to tell you why you should share. I'm assuming if you're on this call, you already know why. If you don't share with them, guys, someone else will. There's a spelling error. Someone else someone else will share with them. It will probably be me, okay? I say that jokingly, but for real. Somebody's going to share with them. They're going to join someone, so it may as well be you. There is no shame in the fact that you can make an income doing this business. People pay to feel better, or people pay to be sick. And so you have something that can help. You provide a service for them. Number 2, they don't know what they don't know. They don't know to come to you and ask about Plexus because they have no idea that Plexus can help with migraines. Okay? They can't come to you and ask about Plexus because they don't know that Plexus can help with autoimmune disease. You have to go to them. They have no idea that you have something that can help them. Number 3, they're literally praying for relief from something, literally crying out for help, and you have an answer. Number 4, you won't have a story or a testimony for everything that Plexus can help with. So if you're waiting for a testimony of your own to reach out to your friends, what happens if your friend has diabetes and you never will? You still have something that can help them. So you can grow your belief even before you have your own testimony, or in spite of your own testimony. I have a great testimony, but my testimony does not help me reach out to someone with rheumatoid arthritis. I've never struggled with that, but I know that Plexus can help. Number 5, and I said this earlier, inviting people to hear more is the most important skill you will learn in this business. The rest will come, but you've got to be able to start the conversation. If not, your business, right? It cannot thrive if you cannot approach people. So here's the thing. Let me go ahead, and I love when somebody tells me the bad news first. So let me go ahead and head off any of the negative objections that you have rolling around in your head. So here's what you should know before you start. Insert scary music. Just kidding. It's not scary. Okay, number 1, you're not going to be great at this at first. You're going to mess up. You're going to feel ridiculous. It's okay. We've all been there. None of us were good. None of us. Listen to Brittany's stories. She'll tell you sometimes. Okay, ask about McDonald's. Number 2, you're going to get a lot of no's, like a massive amount of no's. It's normal. Expect it. No's are a good thing, right? It means that the person cared enough to respond, which leads me to my next topic, the no responses or the ignores. Again, it's totally normal, you guys. It's not personal. I guarantee 96.4% of you guys ignored your sponsor at least once. Don't lie. You know you did. I ignored Brittany for like a year. So here's the thing. You'll need to message 10 people for every 1 person to engage with you. So if you want to have 2 or 3 conversations, that means you need to be messaging 20 or 30 people. Some of you will have more, some of you will have less. That's just an average rule, right? Lucky for you guys, we have this messaging thing down to a science. So sending 10 messages does not take you an hour, okay? We're going to help with that. There are lots of effective ways to reach out to folks without being salesy. It's our job to teach you. Lucky you. Okay, not everyone wants what you have, and that is okay. But some people will have their lives changed if you share, and hundreds more will suffer if you don't. Marinate on that for a second. Okay, if Brittany hadn't shared with me and Michelle and Amy and Emily, none of us would be on this call. Chris, none of us would be on this call. Hundreds of lives were changed because Brittany shared. Okay, and so then the three things I wanted to differentiate between before we start is you have a warm market and a cold market. A warm market's going to be your friends, your family, your coworkers, your neighbors, etc. People that you have regular interactions with. That's your warm market. Start there with your business. Okay, that's where you're going to find the quickest success, usually. Then you have a cold market. That's going to be future customers or team members, usually people that you don't know or that you're in the very beginning of a relationship with. Okay, then you have cold messages. Sometimes we confuse cold market and cold message. A cold message is just a message that you're sending to someone who has not already asked about Plexus. It doesn't mean that they're a cold market. Maybe you have a cousin and she has not come to you about Plexus. When you message her, you're messaging warm market, but you're sending a cold message, meaning they haven't asked you for your information, so you're coming out of left field, which means you need to approach it a certain way. And we're going to help you with that. And guys, here's the thing. Take a super deep breath, because all of these things that we're telling you about are things that we've learned over the course of months, some of us years. So this is not something that you have to know out of the gate. That's why you have an upline. That's why we encourage these three-way chats, because that's where you will learn. Okay, so how do you reach out if you're brand new? I'm so glad you asked. Okay, so there are various ways. Here are 5 right here: Facebook, Instagram, text messages, phone calls, and in person. It's going to vary from person to person, your preference. I have a girl on my team who loves to do phone calls, so that's her primary method right now. I'm big into Facebook. I know several of our girls are learning Instagram. Amy Ballard's great at in person. So it's just going to vary from person to person, and you'll do a mixture of these things. So I decided to put together some sample messages for everyone, okay? This is going to be, and we're going to go real slow through this, you guys. Right here on this page is a sample Facebook message for your warm market, someone that you know, you have a relationship with, okay? They still may be a cold message, but they're for someone that you have a relationship with. So, hey, Sally, the kids are getting so big so fast. I hope life is treating you well. Hey, listen, this is a little out of the blue, but recently I started something and I just had to share with you. Have you ever heard of Plexus? My friend Christina shared with me because she had some awesome health results, and I did my own research and I was so surprised. I had no clue that gut health and blood sugar balance were so important. Anyway, I was just curious to see if you had ever heard of it or tried it. So that's a message that you can really customize to send to just about anybody, as long as you know something about their life. If you don't know that they have kids, please don't tell them that their kids are getting big fast, right? So this is somebody that you have an idea of their life. Maybe you're commenting about their last vacation. You're just having some sort of a connection in the beginning, and then you're letting them know very directly, hey, this is what I'm starting. Here's why I thought about you. Would you like some information? Okay. Here's another one. This is for the business maybe. Sally, you are a superwoman with your big important job and all your kids. I wanted to tell you about this business that I recently started because I've talked to so many women who are just like you, juggling kids and demanding jobs. Hey, listen, they're building side businesses that are growing big enough to give them more choices. I'd love to tell you what I'm up to. When would be a great time for us to chat? So you see, I'm ending that with a question. Both of those messages end with a question. That's going to be a common theme. No matter who you're messaging, how you're messaging them, you're inviting them to have a conversation, so you're ending with the question every single time, okay? So here's a scenario on Facebook. This is Warm Market. This is Sally. Sally saw your Facebook post about Plexus, and she came to you. So now this is a warm message. This is not cold. She's coming to you, or maybe she commented on your post, one or the other. So you're going to say to her, Sally, thanks so much for reaching out about Plexus. You were definitely on my list of friends that I was planning to reach out to. I am loving Plexus so far, and I would love to share some info with you. Are there any specific health struggles or goals that you're dealing with? Guys, here, if there's one thing I want you to hear in this call, it's that this is not about us. Okay? People generally don't really care what it's done for me. They want to know what it's going to do for them. So my story is just a vessel to actually tell them that it's all about them. And it really is. So you make it about somebody by asking them questions. They want to share. Okay, if you ask them some of their struggles, people are going to pour out their heart. They're going to tell you the things they've struggled with their entire life. That's what you want. Okay, that is exactly what you want. Brittany's going to talk to you next week about what to do once they say they want information. So that's as far as I'm going to go as far as how to continue the conversation. But this is how you're going to reach out to somebody if they've commented or even if they've liked your post. You totally can say, hey, Sally, thanks for liking my Plexus post earlier. I really appreciate the support. I was just curious, have you ever heard of Plexus? Something like that. She's commenting on your post, so she obviously wants to show some sort of support. And then there's a various responses that she'll have, and that's going to be next week's call. But make contact with that person. Okay. I watched a video today, you guys. Brenda Martin, she's a genius, and she made a video about being sneaky. So if you're going to message your cold market, someone who you don't really know, it's okay to be direct. They're going to go to your page. They're going to know that you're about Plexus. They should, hopefully. And so it's okay to be direct. We want to avoid being phony, and by that I mean, so you're on Instagram, and there's this girl that you want to connect with. You think she'd be great at this business, but you decide to take the approach of, hey girl, I wanted to see what's going on in your life lately. Your kids are adorable. And you start building this friendship, but then you immediately turn and bring up Plexus. She is going to think that you have been phony from the very beginning. She's going to think that you reached out only for your own agenda, which you did, right? You didn't necessarily want a relationship, but you could have been direct about it to begin with. So here are some examples. So the scenario, you're Facebook friends with Sally, but you've never had any interaction with her. You don't personally know her, and you've never spoken with her. You see that her posts are positive and upbeat, and she's a busy mom. You want to talk to her about this business or maybe the products. So you could say, hey, Sally, I'm sure you get messages about Plexus all the time by lots of people because you would be awesome at it. But I'd love to get on your calendar sometime soon to chat. Would that be possible? You're doing something different than anybody that's ever messaged her has done before. You're going to go ahead and call a cat a cat. Hey, girl, I know you get talked to about Plexus all the time. People see what I see in you. But listen, I would love to chat with you. Could we do that? You're asking for her time. You're not selling or anything. You're just simply asking for some time. Love that one. You could also always go, hey, Sally, I'm sure by now you've seen my Plexus post, and I was just curious to know if you've ever tried it. Direct is okay. Maybe you say, hey, Sally, I cannot believe how beautiful your daughter is. Oh, my goodness. I know we don't really know each other. You go ahead, again, you're calling a cat a cat. I know we don't know each other, but I can't help but feel led to reach out. I hope you don't mind me sharing, but you may have noticed that I love Plexus. These products are incredible and have helped so many people feel better than they ever have, and I'm sure you'd love them too. Would you be open to hearing more? Again, question every time. Every single time. Okay, so hey, Sally, I'm sure that you get messages about Plexus all the time because you would be perfect for it. But I hope when you're ready to make the jump and start with Plexus that you'll come to me. I would love to partner with you to get great results. Again, you're doing what everyone else has already done. You're just doing it in a very honest, direct way. People can respect that. Okay, they can go with that. So here's a scenario. You're part of a breastfeeding group, or you just happen to see a breastfeeding post on a news feed, and there's a mom struggling with her milk supply. Okay, her milk's drying up. She's desperate for answers. She might even be asking for some formula recommendations because she's just at the end of her rope. You don't have any connection to her at all. It's okay to reach out and say, hey, Sally, I saw where you posted about your milk supply dwindling, and I just wanted to reach out to let you know that breastfeeding is a super hard journey. Based on what you shared, I really think I have something that you would want to take a look at because it's helped so many girls with the same issue. Could I share with you? So again, you're telling her, hey, listen, I'm not trying to build a phony friendship with you, but I really honestly have something that I feel like could help you. Do you mind if I share? I love using that line based on what you just shared with me. And you can use that in person. You can use that on Facebook. You can take what they've posted and say, hey, based on what you shared earlier today, I think I have something you want to check out. Again, it's totally non-threatening. It's very casual. People can get down with that. Okay, they can relate to that. And she's either going to say, oh my gosh, yes. Okay, y'all, I'm a breastfeeding mom. If something were happening and I was not able to feed my baby, I would be desperate. I would take suggestions from anybody. And so if somebody reached out and said, girl, I have something that can help you, it helped me or it helped a friend of mine, I would definitely say, yes, please tell me more. So that's what you want to do. Sit back before you send a message and say, how would I receive this message? If you would receive it from someone about makeup or about Tupperware or about, I don't know, anything else, if you would receive it and be like, no thanks, and you would ignore that message, try again. Okay, because your reaction is likely going to be their reaction. So if you were kind of like, I don't know, that gives me the uh-oh feeling, then let's rethink your message. That might be time to bring in an upline and say, hey, here's what I want to say to her and why, but I can't really figure out the wording, because we can help with that. So always reflect. And then I just said on here, in a cold market, cold message situation, when you already know that there's a pain point or a need, don't be afraid to be direct and to the point. People want to be told how to feel better. I honestly believe that. Okay, so moves us right into Instagram. I got this from Brittany. So let's say Sally started following you on Instagram. She knows you're about Plexus. She checked out your page, I guarantee you. As long as one of your top 6 pictures is something to do with health or wellness, she's getting an idea of who you are as a person. So you say, hey, Sally, thanks so much for following me. I really appreciate it. I'm Christina, and you're going to find me chatting about teaching, clean eating, fitness, raising all these babies of mine, and health and wellness. I would love to hear about you. Y'all, I did this 3 times last night. Got 3 responses. Not even kidding. Because I'm in Facebook jail. So, all right. So then that's Instagram. Again, you can use that on all your messages. Obviously, they don't follow you on Facebook, but you can say, thanks for friending me. So then maybe you're a phone person, and I'm working on this. But maybe you want to reach out to somebody on the phone, and so you say, hey, Sally, I've been meaning to call lately because you've been on my mind. Recently, I started something new that I think you would love, and I wanted to share with you. Is now a good time for us to talk? Again, you're still ending with the question, hey, is now a good time? If she says yes, then you're going to be ready to share just a little bit about your journey and the products. If she says, no, now's not a great time, kids in the bath, whatever, you're going to say, I totally understand. Would tomorrow at 8 o'clock work? Go ahead and ask for that commitment of a time to reach back out. Okay, here's your sample in-person starter, you guys. You're at Easter lunch. You like how I did that because Easter's coming? And your uncle is complaining about his reflux and his meds aren't working. Y'all, if you'll just listen, people complain about their health all the time. All the time. I'm a teacher, so in the teacher's lounge, you can hear about somebody's IBS, somebody's migraine, somebody's ingrown toenail. People talk about it all the time. So then wait until they're alone or until you guys are alone, because you don't want to call him out about his reflux in front of everybody. But just say, hey, Uncle Tim, I heard that your reflux is acting up again. Hey, I read something the other day that said reflux is actually gut health related. Did you know that? I recently started some supplements that address that specific issue. So if you're interested in feeling better, let me know. Yes, Uncle Tim is going to be like, yes, I'm interested. Didn't you hear me complaining over lunch about it? Tell me, what'd you start? Tell me all about it. So Uncle Tim is going to be obviously interested in hearing more. So everybody always asks this. This is what everybody wants to know. Okay, I sent my messages like you told me to, Christina. You told me to message 30 people. I did. I had 4 responses, which is incredible, you guys. 4 responses, and everyone else is ignoring me. Perfect. Ignores are great. You know why? Because they're not a no. An ignore is, I'm really busy and I meant to message you back and I forgot. That's probably what an ignore is. Or an ignore is, ooh, you're a Plexus girl. I need to go do some research before I talk to you. So an ignore is usually not a, no thanks, I hate you. Not that usually. An ignore is just a not response because they don't know what to say yet. They don't know enough yet. So they're not saying anything. So here's what you say. Maybe 3 days later, you're going to say, Sally, I hope you're having a great day. Hey, listen, I wanted to reach back out again to see if you had a chance to check out the message I sent the other day. I know life is super busy, so I just wanted to follow up with you because you've been on my mind. When would be a great time for us to chat? So you're letting her know, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I know that you saw the message I sent on Monday. You didn't have a chance to respond back, so let's see if we can nail down a good time for us to talk. There is no harm in that. I know I personally have had several people message me and be like, oh my gosh, I totally thought I responded to you. My bad. Yes, I would love to hear more. Okay. But if I had not followed up, if I had dropped the ball on that follow-up, somebody else would have gotten with them, I'm sure. And then the big question, what do I say after somebody says, not interested? No thanks. You say, thank you so much for taking time to respond to me. I hate that you're not interested at this time, but I wanted to let you know that I always appreciate referrals for people who need to feel better. If you know of anyone who struggles with energy levels or migraines, weight management, or digestive issues, would you mind sending them my way? I sure would appreciate it. Okay, so this message does one of two things. You, in a non-threatening way, you let them know, I'll be back. Because you said, I hate that you're not interested right now. Meaning, you're planting that seed that maybe one day they will be interested. And then you're giving them some other areas that Plexus can help with that perhaps they didn't know. Some people see Plexus Slim as a weight loss. So if they don't want to lose weight, they don't know to ask you if it helps with migraines, or they don't know to ask you if it helps with digestive issues. But by me putting it out there, laying it out, they very well will come back and be like, wait a minute, Plexus helps with migraines? And there you go. They've invited you to have a conversation, which is all you are looking for. When you start reaching out to people about Plexus, you're only looking for an invitation to have a conversation. Because you already know it's going to take 10 times of following up, usually, before someone commits. So you just want to get the party started, right? The party's going to be, most of the time you're not going to message someone and then join you the same day. It doesn't happen, okay? Very, very rarely. So you just want to get the party started. You want to get the invitation happening. You want people to be talking. And so that's what these messages do. Guys, what it comes down to is the bottom line. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. I got that from the book we're reading, y'all. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. The worst thing you can do is say nothing at all. Okay? You can't mess this up. There's not a right or a wrong way. Open your mouth. Say something. People are praying for an answer, so be the answer to that prayer. All right, it brings me back to you guys. Okay, so reaching out to people. Basically, the bottom line is this. Reach out to all the people. Reach out to the people consistently. Have a system for following up, and just be confident. Your posture is going to sell way more than Plexus products will. You coming across as confident, knowledgeable, and willing to help. Okay, you don't have to know all the things, you guys. You just have to be able to connect information, and you can do that. Google can do that, right? Y'all can do that. Invite them to have a conversation with you. Y'all can do it. So excited to see y'all's journey. And I am stopping recording.